Why doesn't God forgive Satan? Let's figure it out. In the beginning, before time itself, there existed a realm beyond mortal comprehension, a realm where cosmic forces clashed and celestial beings roamed. Among these beings, there stood out in particular God, the Creator, and Satan, once an angel of light, but now fallen from grace. The story of Satan's fall from grace is as old as time itself, woven into the fabric of creation. Once, he was among the most favored of all angels, his brilliance and power unmatched. But pride consumed him, festering like a cancer within his heart, until it consumed him entirely. He rebelled against the divine order, seeking to usurp God's throne and become the ruler of all creation. In the cosmic battle that ensued, Satan was cast out of heaven, along with a third of the heavenly host who had sided with him in his rebellion. Banished to the depths of darkness, he became known as the Prince of Darkness, the adversary, the devil. For eons, Satan harbored resentment and bitterness toward God, nursing his wounds and plotting his revenge. He prowled the earth like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, tempting humanity to turn away from God and embrace sin and darkness. Yet, despite his rebellion and his relentless pursuit of evil, there lingered within Satan a flicker of the divine, the memory of his former glory, the echo of the love he once knew. Deep down, buried beneath layers of pride and malice, there existed the potential for redemption. God, in his infinite mercy, extended his hand of forgiveness to all who would repent and turn back to him. Countless souls found redemption through his grace, their sins washed away, their hearts renewed. But Satan remained obstinate, refusing to humble himself before the Almighty. Why doesn't God forgive Satan? This question echoed through the corridors of heaven and the depths of hell alike, pondered by angels and demons, by saints and sinners alike. Some argued that Satan's crimes were too great, his heart too hardened to ever accept forgiveness. Others believed that even the darkest soul could be redeemed if only it would turn back to the light. God, in his wisdom, knew the truth of Satan's heart. He saw beyond the facade of power and pride, penetrating to the core of his being. He understood that Satan's rebellion stemmed not from ignorance or misunderstanding, but from a willful rejection of everything good and pure. To forgive Satan would be to undermine the very foundation of divine justice, to nullify the consequences of his actions and render meaningless the sacrifice of his Son. It would be to condone evil and validate rebellion, to betray the countless souls who had suffered at Satan's hands. And so, God's justice remained steadfast, his mercy tempered by righteousness. He offered forgiveness to all who sought it earnestly, but for Satan, there could be no absolution until he chose to repent and turn back to the light. The ages rolled on, the cosmic drama unfolding according to the divine plan. Satan continued his relentless campaign against God and his creation, sowing chaos and despair wherever he went. But even in the darkest depths of hell, the faint glimmer of hope remained, a hope that one day, even the Prince of Darkness himself might find redemption and forgiveness in the boundless mercy of God. As eons passed, the conflict between God and Satan persisted, each maneuvering in their eternal struggle for supremacy. Humanity, caught in the crossfire, became the battleground upon which this cosmic drama played out. Despite Satan's relentless efforts to corrupt and destroy, pockets of light remained scattered throughout the world, beacons of hope and resilience against the encroaching darkness. These were the souls who clung to their faith, who resisted temptation, and who sought to spread love and compassion in a world plagued by sin. Among them was a humble priest named Father Gabriel. Born into a world torn apart by war and strife, Gabriel had witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by Satan's influence. Yet, his faith remained unshakable, a steadfast anchor amidst the storm. Guided by a divine calling, Father Gabriel dedicated his life to serving others, tending to the spiritual needs of his flock, and offering solace to the weary and downtrodden. His words were like a soothing balm to the wounded soul, his presence a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in darkness. But Satan, ever vigilant, sought to snuff out this flicker of hope before it could spread further. He unleashed his minions upon Father Gabriel, tempting him with offers of power and glory, seeking to corrupt his pure heart and turn him against the very God he served. Yet, try as he might, Satan could not penetrate the fortress of Father Gabriel's faith. Though tested by trials and tribulations, the priest remained steadfast in his devotion, his resolve unbroken by the temptations of the evil one. Frustrated by his failure to sway Father Gabriel from the path of righteousness, Satan devised a new plan so diabolical that it threatened to unravel the very fabric of creation itself. He would unleash a wave of chaos and destruction upon the world, unleashing untold suffering and misery upon humanity. As the forces of darkness gathered their strength, Father Gabriel stood firm, rallying his congregation to stand against the tide of evil. With faith as their shield and love as their weapon, they confronted the powers of darkness head-on, refusing to yield to despair. In the midst of battle, as the forces of good and evil clashed in a cataclysmic struggle for the soul of humanity, Father Gabriel stood face to face with Satan himself. In that moment, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance, he offered a simple yet profound prayer. "Forgive him, Lord, for he knows not what he does." And in that moment, bathed in the divine light of forgiveness and redemption, something miraculous happened. The hardened heart of Satan trembled, his resolve faltering as the weight of his sins bore down upon him. For the first time in eons, he felt a glimmer of remorse, a tiny spark of hope, amidst the darkness that consumed him. In that moment of grace, Father Gabriel's prayer was answered, not just for Satan, but for all of creation. The power of forgiveness washed over the fallen angel, breaking the chains that bound him to his past transgressions and offering him a path to redemption. With tears in his eyes and a heart heavy with remorse, Satan fell to his knees, his pride shattered, his spirit humbled before the majesty of God's love. And in that moment of surrender, he was welcomed back into the fold, his sins forgiven, his soul redeemed. The battle raged on, but the tide had turned. With Satan's redemption, a ripple of hope spread throughout the cosmos, touching the hearts of all who witnessed the miracle. Though the scars of the past would never fully heal, a new chapter had begun, a chapter filled with the promise of forgiveness, redemption, and the enduring power of love. In the aftermath of Satan's redemption, a profound transformation swept through the heavens and the earth. The once raging conflict between God and the fallen angel gave way to a newfound understanding, a realization that even the darkest soul could be redeemed by the boundless mercy of the Creator. Satan, now humbled and contrite, dedicated himself to atoning for his past transgressions. He renounced his former title as the Prince of Darkness and embraced a new purpose to serve as a beacon of hope and redemption for all who had lost their way. Guided by Father Gabriel and the countless souls who had remained steadfast in their faith, Satan embarked on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual renewal. He traveled to the darkest corners of creation, offering forgiveness and redemption to those who had been ensnared by his lies and deception. With each act of kindness and compassion, Satan's influence waned, replaced by a profound sense of love and empathy for all living beings. No longer driven by pride and ambition, he dedicated himself to healing the wounds of the past and building a brighter future for all. Meanwhile, Father Gabriel continued his ministry, spreading the message of forgiveness and redemption to all who would listen. His words resonated with the hearts of millions, inspiring countless souls to turn away from sin and embrace the light of God's love. As the years passed, the scars of the cosmic conflict began to fade, replaced by a newfound sense of peace and harmony. The forces of good and evil, once locked in an eternal struggle for supremacy, found common ground in their shared humanity and their unwavering faith in the power of love. And so, the story of God's forgiveness and Satan's redemption became a testament to the transformative power of grace, a reminder that no soul is beyond redemption, no matter how far they may have strayed from the path of righteousness. In the end, it was not the strength of arms or the fury of battle that brought about victory, but the simple yet profound act of forgiveness, a gift freely given and freely received. binding together all of creation in a bond of love that would endure for eternity.